Kruger tried to get Forsett, and he ended up tackling there. None of our outside linebackers have the ability to set an edge right now, and they got Scott Solomon back, albeit for a few series, and it looks like he's going to be out for at least a little bit of time with a knee injury. And listening to Mike Pettin talk yesterday, it didn't seem like he was real optimistic they'd have Scott Solomon back at all this year, because he said it could be, a short-term thing, it could be a couple-game thing, or it could be far worse than that. We don't know. We're going to get him evaluated. So when Pettin addresses the media here in a few minutes, we'll be able to see whether or not Scott Solomon will be back at all this season, or if it's a situation where the young man is done, and that's another linebacker that we are down. And it's really kind of depressing, because Scott Solomon was supposed to be this huge part of our defense and be our edge setter, and I kind of joked that he had more nicknames in the NFL than he actually did career tackles. Right. And that's kind of been the case this year. He's been on the field very limited amount, and he sustained two relatively impactful injuries that will keep him out of the lineup. So I don't think they're getting any help in the edge setting anytime soon, and that's definitely not a good thing, because they can't stop the run. And then you look at up the middle, and Danny Shelton doing a couple of less than good things for this team last night, and committing 2 penalties that could have really impacted the game. Those I was trying to be nice. That's why I kind of caught myself and I stammered for a second, because I'm thinking of a way to be nice here. But those aren't even rookie mistakes. Those are just flat out dumb mistakes.
They're preventable.
That cost you football games against good teams.
Yeah, they are preventable penalties, and those are the ones that really drive you nuts. The other thing, we talk so much about the lack of run defense and how teams gash them, but the lack of pressure on the quarterback continuously, Matt, outside of week 2 against Marcus Mariota and the Tennessee Titans, is astounding. 1 sack came from Monty Bryant for the Browns. 1. Baltimore had 4. And again, you give a guy like Joe Flacco so much time. He was, outside of that 1 sack, Matt, I can't even remember another time where he was uncomfortable. And remember, too, he was without 2 of his top receivers. Their defense was banged up. Whatever. You're going to take the W all day long. You haven't won there since 2007. I'm not going to rain on the parade and on the victory Monday. But the fact that you are unable to get that pressure on the quarterback again is so infuriating. Where does this defense go? Joe Hayden, good Lord, his injuries is longer than the quarterback Browns jersey you see in the window downtown, right? Like there's no, it's just all lined up to being a nothing defense, and it's truly amazing that they were able to win yesterday.
Yeah, it was. To me, it had a lot of the same feel as the week before against San Diego.
Yeah.
No pressure on the quarterback, no ability to stop the run, no name wide receivers getting signed off a practice squad, coming in and dominating early, and it's like, oh boy. I mean, it legitimately should have been 21-3, but Baltimore's offense went in the toilet after the first quarter and really never found itself again until late in the game when they needed a couple drives. And had it not been for that Forsett injury, I think we're talking about a completely different ballgame here, because that was a weapon that Joe Flacco desperately needed, and he didn't have it. And even still, the Browns weren't able to get pressure on him. He wasn't able to have the impact that he wanted to have. And the Browns are fortunate because they really, defense is just awful. There's a reason why they're the number 32 defense in the league, 31st against the run. There is actually a team that's worse against the run than the Browns, believe it or not.
Really?
Yes, they're 31st against the run. They're 32nd in total defense, though. This was a team that I believe was top 10 defense for much of last year, and they are absolutely gone the opposite. And against a good team with halfway decent weapons, they'd struggle. They found a way to beat Baltimore, and, congratulations. Let's not rain on the parade too much, but that was not your grandfather's Baltimore team. That is a very different-looking Baltimore edge to it, and we're going to see what they can do against a better team, a team like the Denver Broncos come Sunday. And they better get that defense worked out quick, because all that good mojo and momentum they have built up from this victory in Baltimore, it goes bye-bye real quick if they don't build on it and turn it into another victory.
Oh, sure. And that Denver defense is legit despite some injuries. Again, we'll get into that more on Friday's show when we tee up the Week 6 matchup. Denver Broncos into Cleveland to face the Cleveland Browns. How relieved did Mike Pettin look? My goodness, he was smiling. He was fist bumping. A win like that buys you a little bit of time, takes the pressure off till at least next Sunday. So for the next few days, Mike Pettin is going to be living the hero life for just a little bit, improving to 2-3. But let's swing around the rest of the AFC North real quick in from the shotgun. And for the we beat the Baltimore Ravens. For the Cincinnati Bengals. Now, the Pittsburgh Steelers in action on Monday Night Football. So the only other score, the Bengals hosting the Seattle Seahawks. And, Matt, I thought, okay, this is the time. Although the Seahawks were not playing great, Marshawn Lynch was out, I was thinking maybe this could be the team to slow the Bengals' roll and not give them a stranglehold on the division. Bengals won by a field goal. They were down, and I have to give full credit to Andy Dalton, who I have perennially thought was a dud in clutch moments. 17 unanswered points for the Bengals in the fourth quarter to win in overtime. Matt, I think the AFC North, we can start shining up the crown and give it to Cincinnati. They look that good.
Tell you what, I haven't seen too many people walk down the field against Seattle and do what they did yesterday. I thought for sure that was a win in the bag for the Seahawks after they came out and dominated for basically the first three quarters. But tip of the cap to Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals, man. They have offensive weapons. They have wide receivers that impact the game only 10 times, and they find a way to win. So, credit to them. And,
only 10?
That's a good ball club, and we're
going
to see them in a couple of weeks. I was lying in bed last night thinking about the next few weeks and how nobody thought this team could get the 4 wins after the loss to San Diego, and now it's looking like, okay, Denver's going to be tough. St. Louis is a possibility. Then you roll into the Arizona Cardinals on Halloween weekend. That one's going to be a fist fight in a back alley because that's a team that is playing on a mission right now.
They're nasty.
And then you get the Bengals on a short week at their barn. It's a tough stretch, but it's good to at least go into it with some sort of momentum to build on, and you hope that Josh McCown's able to stay healthy and stay on the field and lead this team into the Denver game on Sunday and not have to put it in the unknown hands of Johnny Manziel against one of the best ever to do it in Peyton Manning.
We have to hope as well that the San Diego Chargers on Monday Night Football overcome their injuries like they did against the Browns last week and beat up on the Steelers Chargers at home. Pittsburgh, of course, without Big Ben Roethlisberger. They do have Martavis Bryant returning, but Michael Vick in at quarterback. So if the Chargers can beat the Steelers, the Browns will be tied for second in the AFC North. So very exciting there. We'll cross our fingers and be cheering for the Lightning Bolts tonight on Monday Night Football for sure. Now, Matt, let's get back to our question here, our doghouse question, at AndyMC81, at Matt Floor Jansen. Whose success over the last few weeks have you been more surprised by? Josh McCown set a Browns record for most passing yards in 3 consecutive games, most ever, more than Otto Graham, Brian Sipe, Bernie Kosar, or big play Gary Barnidge, who has emerged as a legit superstar at the tight end position. Another touchdown, 139 yards, and has a couple 100-plus yard games. So let's get to your tweets in the Barkov right about now. Okay, and on Twitter, we have from @Casey_Dawson says, McCown, because the Browns still have Johnny in the wings trying to steal his job. So he goes with, all right, hey, Josh is fending off the pressure, something Brian Hoyer couldn't do last year, couldn't handle it. Josh McCown seems to be thriving. And then on Twitter, Kelly says, both really, but I have to say McCown never saw this performance coming. Hope he can keep it up. Go Browns. Then in another tweet says, also, this is a special victory Monday, beating the Ravens, breaking our losing streak at M&T Stadium. Smiley face emoji and a football. Gotta love it, man.
You have to. You have to enjoy this one. The fans can enjoy it. They don't have the 24-hour rule. This one could last all the way till the weekend.
Well, for me.
And then lead up to a great game on Sunday. The players, they better forget about it right now. They have some work to do, and this is going to be a tough physical battle. against a dang good Denver defense, so they better get to work today, starting to put away the victory celebrations and the victory cigars, and just go to work. Because it's the NFL, it's fast and furious, and another game is right on the horizon.
Matt, real quick before we wrap up the show, after the Tennessee win, the Browns read their own press clippings, how good that win was. Mike Patton admitted it. Going into facing the Denver Broncos, and as you said, Peyton Manning, against a legit team that, despite their offensive struggles, are still considered to be AFC Championship favorites, if not getting to the Super Bowl favorites. Do you see that this team falling into those same traps of, hey, we got this big win, all right, let's take it easy, or can they actually learn from the earlier season mistake after the victory against Tennessee?
They better learn, because they'll get embarrassed if they're not ready to go. If they are lackadaisical in their preparation and they don't come in Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday and have the killer mindset, then this one's going to get ugly quick. And I think Coach Penton knows it. I think he's going to remind those gentlemen of it. And it's go time for this team. They beat Denver. They're starting to make some noise in the AFC. Sure. They have an opportunity here to do some pretty special things if they get a victory. So they better be focused on task number one, and that's continuing the winning streak. Forget all the crap that happened in the past. You let some good momentum go when you couldn't turn the Titans win into a second win. You kind of got caught, looking at your own press clippings. It's time to play ball. Forget the press. Forget reading anything. Forget the radio. Turn the radio off.
Don't listen to nothing.
Turn the iPod on when you're driving anywhere. Just focus on the game, get to work, and go play ball.
And it's nice that the fans at First Energy Stadium will be coming in with a positive instead of being 1-4 and just thinking, here we go again. It's a win. The place will be jumping. I just hope that the Browns give the home crowd something to cheer about for once this season after that Oakland debacle following the Tennessee win. So if they can do that, oh boy, we could be in for something special. But we'll worry about that on Friday. Matt, Victory Monday, baby. It's been a good one. But now we turn our focus to Denver. Good stuff. We'll let you get back to the press conferences.
All right, sounds good, Andy. Enjoy this one, and hopefully there's a Victory Monday for the Blue Jays for you, too.
Hey, thank you very much. Let's hope so. This has been the Doghouse, your inside look at the Cleveland Browns. I'm Andy McNamara. He's Matt Florjancic. Follow us on Twitter at AndyMC81, at Matt Florjancic. Enjoy the Victory Monday, folks.